slave from a land so far. I was caught and I was brought here from Africa. I'm a slave from a land so far. I was caught and I was brought here from Africa. But it was lips like fire from the white slave master every day. I dung on my knees, weeks and weeks, before we crossed the seas to reach in the West Indies. And then he make me walk, and then I walk. Good Lord, no way. I toiled hard each day. I'm dying. I'm crying, my God. Many times I wanted to run, but the English slave master standing there with a gun. Oh, I know he gonna shoot to kill. So I stay and I pray, but I'm planning still. I studied night and day how to break away. I got to make a brilliant escape. But every time I think about the whip and the empty dogs, my body that start to shake. He make me walk aside I work. Oh Lord, no faith. I tried hard instead. I'm dying. I'm in my heart, there was much to say. I always hoped the boss would have listened to me someday. Although he knew that I knew my request was small, but the sting of the whip there to answer me when I called. Lord knows we had to chant and sing to express our feeling to that wicked and cruel man. That was the only medicine to make him listen. And his soul calypso began. He made me walk. I said I work. Oh Lord, no pain. I tried hard instead. I'm dying. I'm crying, oh Lord. Well, Lord, I want to be free. And then times change in so many, many, many ways. Then one day, somebody said, free the bloody slaves. I was then put out on the street. I had no clothes, had no food, had no place to sleep. Worst of all, I had no education, no particular ambition. This I cannot conceal. Forgot my native culture, I live like a vulture. From the white man I had to steal, because he made me work. I said I work, oh Lord, oh, hey. I tried hard each day. I'm dying, I'm crying. Be free. All right. You know, at this point in time, if you start feeling that kind of way like me, it's time to talk reparation. No? Nobody want to talk that? And one fella clap. Like only I like money and thing on. Anyway, we like to say, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we ought to do is to always pay close attention to the fact that education is the key. Regardless of what happens, education. And if you know the song, if you remember the song, you know what to do. Okay? Education. La, la, la. Mr. Sandy Joseph, dedicated to you. Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education to be recognized anywhere you go. You better have your certificate to show, to enjoy any kind of happiness. Knowledge is the key to success. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you're going to catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To learn tomorrow, you got to learn today. Oh, God. So education sweet. For employment, yes, employment, you must be intelligent. So it's essential, very essential, to have your credentials. Remember, if you're block-headed like a mule, no one will employ a fool. You will be the last one to be hired, and the very first one to be fired. Children go to school, learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you go catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. It's better you're dead. DD, for there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. You understand that, right? Don't follow other companions, or you will get born to earn. To earn, you got to learn. See the move? Illiteracy is man's greatest enemy. So it's your duty, yes, your duty, stamp it out completely. Ignorance always impedes progress. Education saves you much distress. So learn as much as you can. This nation's future is in your hands. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you go catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. Better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To learn tomorrow, you're gonna learn today. It's a treasure, yes, a treasure beyond any measure. So secure it, just secure it. Don't ever ignore it. I said to find life's battles, come what may. Education will light up your way. Without it, you'll never get through. Success or failure, no, it is up to you. Children go to school. Otherwise, later on in life, you go catch without an education. Your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow either companions to lead you astray. To learn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
San Francisco. Mike Arrow. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to Politics 101. the Mighty Sparrow there, education. And before that, slave. Education is still premium. I hear some idle talk these days that people mustn't worry about education. There is education and there is education. You know, there is education as in certification, and there is education as in knowledge. Both forms of education are important. Don't let anybody turn you all away from education. Special good evening to the young people who are getting their results from the CXC, no? CXC. Congratulations to all of you. All of you wrote, you got 15 subjects or 20 subjects, or you got one subject or two subjects. Good evening to you, all of you, wherever you're joining us from. Just share the live and let everyone know we're on tonight, as we are 5 nights per week, and we're here. The Mighty Sparrow, when you're down, when you're feeling not so uppy, you turn to the griots. You turn to the griot. The people who help us to make sense of ourselves.
I don't want to take no sort of time. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Hear the live.
would you please put your hand together? No stranger in the house. 1986. Triple Crown winner. The man who gave us bacchanal time. Rally around the West Indies. Full CX. And this year what he tell us? I say go down. I am moving. Would you please? Calypso music. Aristocrat posse. Put your hand together. Let's welcome David, Michael, Rada. David Rada. David Rada. Good night.
Can you hear a distant drum bouncing on the laughter of a melody? What? Yeah, yeah. Does the rhythm tell you come, 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 come? Does your spirit do a dance to this symphony? What? Yeah, yeah. Does it tell you that your heart is a fire? Oh yeah. Does it tell you that your pain is a liar? Oh yeah. Does it wash away all the unlovely? Well, are you ready for a brand new discovery? Everybody sing, sing. Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, Calypso, yeah, yeah, yeah. Calypso, the rhythm make you feel alright. We gonna jam it through the night. We singing, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. Can I have a Monday? Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I say that I am the seed of the growling tiger now. I got to sing, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. Well, yeah, oh. It is a living vibration, rooted deep within my Caribbean belly. Lyrics to make a politician cringe, but turn a woman's body into jelly. I tell you, shake it, mama, yeah. Sweet soca music, Calypso, well, You could have never refused it. Calypso, no, no. Make you shake like a shango. Calypso, why the hell you shaking? You don't know. That is Calypso. Everybody sing, Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Oh, God, oh, God, Calypso, oh, God, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, oh, oh, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I said that I am, you see that this spider was I want to come on. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, oh yeah. Oh, baba, memories now. I can still hear lion roar to Greenwich Village. Executor kills them dead at the ribbon blue. Yes. Lord Invader conquers Berlin, but their hearts this time. Lord Kitchener making old London feel so new. Lord Beginner and Terror too. Fitzroy Coleman fingers dancing on the fret. And when you think that it's true, he has start nothing yet. Carnegie Hall graced by the presence of Sparrow. Oh, oh, oh. And when Sparrow done with the tail, you them shouting, don't go, Sparrow, don't go. Why? You're damn right. I say you're damn right. I say you're damn right. You're damn right. Damn right. Damn right. Oh, you're damn right. Rhythm make you feel alright. We gon' jam it through the night. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I say that I am to see that this spider. That's why I say, I want to go. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. Caribbean people, we got the rise. We got the rise. From the time the first bamboo cut. And we drag it down from up in them St. Anne's Hills. Oh, you hear me? You hear me? From the day the first shot will lead the band. The red jamming start to look tonight. We jamming, we jamming, we jamming, we jamming, and we jamming it still. Creating a rhythm that could be deadly like Headley. But only this time, it's the lyric and the melody we're sending the soul to the boundary. Yeah. From the bongo drum to the road I beat our side. You never since Europe come and she make bassa bassa. We jamming in the Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Calypso, Calypso, yeah, 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 yeah. Calypso, the rhythm make you feel alright. We gonna jam it through the night. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, yeah. Why yeah, Calypso. We singing, why yeah, Calypso. We singing, why yeah, Calypso. Oh yeah, hey, oh day, oh go day, oh day, oh go day, oh day, oh go day, oh day. All right, now the thing start. This is no longer whatever they call this thing. This is now the Holy Temple of Soca. Reverend Brother in attendance here, beloved. We are gathered here tonight for one thing and one thing only. That is to get out the hand. Say it. We come here to get out the hand. Say it. We come here to say it. We come out to get out the hand. Everybody clap your hand. Everybody clap your hand. Everybody clap your hands, yeah. Everybody clap your hands now. Everybody say yeah, oh. Say yeah, oh. Say oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see the sweet guys of music. They could have never refuse it. The sweet guys of music. They could have never refuse it. Never refuse it. Never refuse it. Never refuse it. shake like a shango. Bongo there, bongo. Why the hell you shaking? You don't know. Bongo, it goes. Ocho robo robo miara, oh saina de, bongo de, ajaja ho, erile, ajaja ho, erile, ajaja ho, erile, ajaja ho, erile, bongo
We never lost it. We never lost it. The little passage never dimmed the lights. Whether it's a Shango, Comfort, Santeria, Voodoo, Pocomania, we never lost it. And sometimes we wonder, people with so many jewels can sometimes act in ways that defy jewels. Good evening and welcome to Politics 101 Wednesday night. It's in the middle of the week and we are confronting, as Hamilton Green said recently, the most stubborn government since the end of colonialism. The most stubborn government. But we're not giving up. Please share the live, please share the live, please share the live. And let everybody know that we are here. A special good evening to all the people who are joining us from Linden, all the people who are joining us from Bedford-Wacton, all those who are joining us from Buxton, Georgetown, of course. Those who are joining us from Barbados and Trinidad, we have a critical mass of viewers and listeners. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Politics 101. A very good evening to my brother, Mark Benchop. Very good evening to Mark. And very good evening to Sherrod and Kedaki and Brother Paul Slow and all those who are toiling in the vineyard, coming out every night, every day, and rallying the troops. Rallying the troops. Good evening to you. We're all in this thing together. This is what is trending on our page today. This is what is trending on our page today. Politics 101 Facebook page. It's opposition unity not on the cards. Mohammed sticks to no coalition pledge with APNU. This is a story that is trending, really trending today on Politics 101 page. Go to that page, those of you on Facebook page, and like the Facebook page. And the story opposition unity not on the cards. And we've dealt with that issue at length here on this program. And we have sought to point out that we can be the most realistic people, but sometimes we are the most unrealistic people. And I've called it opposition unity, that is unity between WIN and APNU, is not on the cards right now. You all forget it. The most recent indication is that opposition leader Mohammed had the opportunity. There were three opposition members to be named to the local government commission. 3 members from the opposition. And the opposition leader had the opportunity to choose 1 from WIN, 1 from APNU, 1 from FGM. He didn't have to by law, but he had the opportunity to answer the requests of many of the people who voted for him, who were calling for unity among the opposition. But what the brother did was to choose 2 from WIN, 1 from NGM, 0 from APNU. I've not heard his explanation yet, but the only explanation is that I compete in with APNU. So 0, not. I don't get into this quarrel between WIN and APNU, although I'm APNU. Because, I go right back. During the budget debates, the chief whip from WIN decided by the standing orders of the National Assembly. It is the chief whip from the opposition who decides who speaks for how long. And I remember the APNU saying, well, let's do it proportionately. Some people could speak, I think, for 35 minutes or 15 minutes, and I think they proposed to WIN that let's share up the big minutes, the 35 minutes, proportionately. But WIN decided against that, and they took the majority of the big minutes. But yet we hope for unity, we hope for unity. It's not happening. WIN is the major opposition parliamentary group, and the rules, the winner-take-all rules, says that they can take all if they want. They could have taken all 3 of the seats on the local government commission, and they would not be violating the standing orders. They could have taken all of the 45 minutes or 35 minutes slot during the National Assembly. They wouldn't be violating any rules of movement. It's the rules permit them to do that. The letter of the rules. But in the spirit of unity, they could act otherwise. And they clearly had decided not to. And for me, it's not a big deal. I knew what the rules were when I went into the game. Once WIN won, and the APNU brought 3rd, I expected, in the context of our political culture, in the context of the dynamics between WIN and APNU, I expect WIN to shaft the APNU. I expect that. And so for me, it ain't a big deal. Mr. Mohammed made it very clear before the election that he is not interested in any coalition with APNU or PPP. And he has kept his word. No coalition with the PPP, no coalition with APNU. So you APNU supporters and you WIN supporters, black people, who are calling for unity, you weren't promised that. Those of you cussing Mohammed because he take all, or he gave a man one and he take two, and he didn't promise you all anything. And for those of you who voted for him and now expect him to share up with APNU, he didn't promise you all that. So for me, it ain't a big deal. What ought to be very clear on our side is that instead of all eyes focused on the PPP, part of the eye is focused on, if you're APNU, part of your eye is focused on WIN, and if you WIN, part of your eye focus on APNU. So no full eye is focused on the PPP. No combined eye is focused on the PPP. That is what you vote for. That is what you get. I am APNU, and I was disappointed that APNU didn't get more votes. But clearly, people felt otherwise, and they split up their votes. And I am prepared to live with that outcome until the next election. I expect no gift from WIN. I accept the reality that WIN won votes that would normally go to APNU. And when people lose something, they don't naturally go and hug up the person who took that thing away from them. And when I get something from somebody, when you get something from somebody, you're looking to get more. So you ain't going and hug up them who you get something from. As it is in life, so it is in politics. So many times we Africans have been very liberal with the way we vote. We tend to give chances to new parties, whether it's the UF, whether it's the WPA, whether it's AFC, and now WIN, we tend to give chances to new parties. Does it benefit us collectively? Maybe in some instances. It does. I've been telling comrades that history is a good teacher. I know there's some people here who say that, you know, I talk too much about history, and I don't. I gotta give more red meat, you know, more the present. The charges, the thing that Aubrey Norton faced in the last election, Burnham, who is the god of black people, faced the same thing in 1964, you know. sections of the black elite felt he was too black. And then he was bringing in all them low-class black people into the PNC. And they were prepared to vote against him. Some did. Some voted for UF. And I remember Brother UC told me that when he realized what was happening, he went down to Georgetown and he called a meeting at Border Green. He wasn't in the PNC, they had expelled him. Because if they say he was talking race, and the PNC expelled him. And when some black people went to him and tell him Ascrea must run in the election, and there was a possibility Ascrea would have won seats, but Ascrea would have won seats at the expense of the PNC, he went to see Mr. Burnham. And he told Mr. Burnham what people are asking him to do. And Mr. Burnham said to him, "You're going to split the vote." And my elder said, that's all he wanted to hear. He will not go down in history as an African who split African vote. And so Ascrea didn't run. And when he heard that some of the Georgetown so-called elite red-skinned black people were going to vote for Peter DeGuy because Burnham too black, and Burnham bring them low-class black people into the PNC. He said he went to Border Green and he told the country, especially black people, red nigger, black nigger, same nigger. And that may have contributed to Burnham winning and the PNC winning enough, retaining enough. The PNC didn't get the most seats. PPP got the most seats, followed by PNC, followed by UF. But PNC was able to join with UF and they took the government. Imagine if more black people had gone and voted otherwise, there might have been no PNC government, or even if PNC had gotten into government with UF, it would not have been as strong a partner as it eventually turned out to be. You see, we have to learn this history. What black people did to Norton. The difference between 64 and 2026 is that in 64, it was the red-skinned people who thought Burnham was too black. The red-skinned elite, the red-skinned black people, elite black people. This time around, it was the ordinary working class black people. Some of them felt Norton was too black. And for people like myself who came up in the Black Power movement, Black is Beautiful, I don't mind. I don't mind black people voting for other people. They've always done it, some of them. But the shock of my life was when poor black people said a black leader, a black man was too black and they couldn't vote for him. If you said Norton, you ain't voting for Norton because he didn't take me on the streets, I'm with you. If you say you're voting for Norton because when Norton party was in power between 2015 and 2020, and they didn't do nothing for you all, and you all are voting for them, I'm with you all. I ain't agree with you all, but that makes sense. If you say you're not voting for Norton and APNU because Norton and Nigel Hughes couldn't come together in a coalition, I'm with you all there. But when you say I'm voting for him because he's too black, You all lose me, and I loosen you all foot. That ain't what I spend my life fighting for. For black people to say, I ain't voting for black man because he too black. Mm-mm. You can, as I say, all the other things, you know, if your new government didn't do nothing for you, I ain't agree, but I still prepared to listen. Are they not voting for you because Ian Nigeria use conform a coalition? I with you all. I was disappointed too that they didn't form a coalition. You're voting for him because he didn't take you out on the streets. I with you all with that because I disagree with Norton vehemently on that. But when you all reach the point where say you all end voting because you're too black. There are always moments when we make mistakes. And I think we on our sides have to take responsibility for what happened at the level of the leadership. We didn't fight hard enough to give you all racial consciousness. We give you all class consciousness because we preach very feelingly to you all that the suffering in Guyana is class, is poor people suffering. And if you're poor, you aren't getting enough of what you're supposed to get. That is correct. We are giving you all what their class consciousness. We are saying as a class, as poor people, you are getting shaft. I think the people who are gender activists did give you all some gender consciousness in the sense that women are doing the same job as men and earning less. Women are confined to certain terrible jobs. Women got to leave home at 6 o'clock in the afternoon to go and watch man all night, left the picnic home to the mercies of the devil. Women got to be pumping gas. You know? So there is some gender consciousness there. But what we didn't say loud enough to you all and consistent enough is that those women who pumping gas for the most part are black women. Those women who left and go watch man when the night comes, they're black women. That those men and women who in the public service, in police, teacher, government worker, soldier, nurses, they're mostly black people. Starvation wages. They're mostly black people. What we collectively didn't give, that is, we, people like myself, so-called social media influencers, we didn't give you all enough race consciousness. We political parties, PNC, WPA, AFC, we didn't give you all enough race consciousness. Some of us did more than others. I always say to my PNC friends, you all have to take the bulk of the responsibility on that count. Because you all are the ones who traditionally black people have given most of their votes. And you all are the worst party on the opposition side when it comes to standing up for black people as black people. Because you all stand up for black people. PNC does stand up for black people, but they stand up for black people as poor people. Not black people as black people. From the time you come to black people as black people, PNC leaders start to run. And so while people like myself try my best to give racial consciousness, my voice is not as loud as the PNC voice. And so therefore, we didn't give you all enough racial consciousness. And so you all couldn't make a decision based on race. And so our brothers and sisters who went to vote for Win, in all their calculations before they cast their votes, I think when I talked to them, the calculation that was least on their mind was their racial identity. Meaning that the thing least on their mind was the suffering they were going through as black people. They knew, and they still know, that they're suffering as black people. But when they went to cast that vote, that it was low down on their radar. And we, the leaders, have to take responsibility for that. You hear it. Some people say David Hines talk too much history, and they don't realize history is important because you have to give your people something to hold on to. You have to let them know the path that we have walked, and that we didn't drop from the coconut tree, or we didn't drop from the sky yesterday. So there is a way in which we isolate things. Yes, the APNU government did not, APNU-FC government did not directly implement policies, enough policies to deal with black problems. And note I said enough because they did some direct black policies. The subvention to Itpadaji was direct. The raid project, Ithaca, Boxing, Triumph, Mocha, direct for black people. So it's not like AP and UFC did not do anything directed to black people. They did a couple. They did a few. But for the most part, the benefits that came to black people were benefits that went to everybody else. So there is a criticism to be made there. There's a criticism to be made of Norton for not being more militant, which includes going on the streets and other things. There's a criticism to be made that Norton toned down militancy. There's a criticism to be made there. There's a big criticism to be made of Norton and Nigel Hughes in particular for not being able to arrive at a coalition between AFC. There's a big criticism to be made there. But having made those criticisms, if we had stepped back and asked ourselves whether those criticisms warranted, together, whether they warranted breaking up the vote. In elections, you try to win, And if you can't win, you try to come a close second. What's breaking up the black vote? A strategy to win? Was it a strategy to come a close second? And if I were to do the campaign all over again, I would have spent more time from the platform whenever I had a chance to speak, addressing those issues. But you see, one had to be very careful. Somebody like myself on the AP New platform, is delicate undertaking because people were always whispering in AP and New ears. Loudly whispering, loudly and quietly, that you are going to win if you all get crossover vote. And they were always putting pressure on the AP and New leadership not to talk to black people as black people. And so that's where I came in. The AP and New leadership had to be very careful with me on the platform because people are always whispering to them that David Hinds is too strident with race and he gonna make you all lose. And I know that the AP and New leadership took that into consideration. You know, they use me on the platform. And like I said, I live with that because I know the reality of politics. And I was going to do nothing to make the coalition lose votes. But I knew, and my party knew, that we had to talk to black people as black people to keep them. It became clearer and clearer to us. We didn't know the extent to sit there and say, I know that 70-something thousand people would have gone vote for Muhammad and 70-something, I'll be lying. But you were smelling that thing wasn't regular. And that it had come to the point where we had to try to hold on to black people. My colleagues didn't, I think, take that into consideration, understandably so. And they didn't lose people like myself more on the platform to try to hold more black people and bring them out. We are only learning this after the fact. As Mr. Jack Joe said publicly at his press conference after the election, that we did not know a basic thing in politics. We had political scientists in our leadership. And he asked, don't you know that the first thing in an election is to hold on to your base? We didn't think our base was going away from us. That's the first thing. The second thing, we didn't go into the election with that cardinal principle in our mind: hold your base. I was clear. The WPA was clear about that, and that is why we stuck our necks out and we said, hold your base. This election is about holding your base. I didn't know. I'm telling you, I would be lying if I told you I knew that Muhammad would come and carry away 1/3 of we base, and that 1/3 of them would say, I had no knowledge. What I knew, as Jack Dio said, as a political scientist and a political activist, you don't win election without your base. And that is what drove me to say base, 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 base. The PPP knew that I was correct because they were doing the same thing. But they call me racist and they scare our leaders. It's not a nice thing to be called a racist, you know. And so our leaders didn't fight for the base enough. And then the election results came and it showed that 2/3 of our base, 1/3 stay home, 1/3 voted for win. And 1/3 came out for us. It's hard to, it's a hard road to travel. You know, that's the title of tonight's program. Jimmy Cliff, a hard road to travel is a hard road. But we didn't know. It's after the election we realized what happened. The base went away because while the Indian base was given Indian racial consciousness by the PPP, we didn't give our base the same racial consciousness. And the elections have come and gone. And the truth of the matter, our first, if you're APNU, your first order of business is to win back your base. You don't have to go and read any book to figure that out. If you win, your first order of business is to win more from APNU base. Let me repeat that. If you win, your first order of business is to strengthen the surprise that you get. You got what you got by surprise. And now you got to hold on to that surprise. And so your first order of business is to win more from APNU base. And APNU was surprised that so much of our base went to win. So what is your first order of business? Get back that base. And if you're PPP, what is your first order of business? Keep them divided. That's real politics. Real politics I'm giving you all here. And perhaps I can say it. If you are win, and let me repeat, if you win, your first order of business is that, boy, I got a surprise, nice girl here. I ain't letting her go. She didn't break up totally with your boyfriend or your husband. My job is to make her break up totally and come to me because she's a prize woman. She's resourceful, she's nice, she's everything a man wants in a woman. So are you trying to let you break up totally with your boyfriend or your husband? If I win, you can't vex with win for wanting to do that. And if I am the boyfriend or the husband and I see my girl going, this beautiful, resourceful, intelligent woman going away, what do? You look through the window and you tell the catman that come for pick up the grip when she move out. You say, turn back, catman. Turn back, catman, and we dip on him. You want to make up with your girl, with your wife. So if you're APNU, your first of the business is to say, baby, you're not going anywhere. Come back, come home. And if you're a PPP, you want the lady too. That you waiting on the sideline and let the two of them fight for the lady. And when the police come and pick them up, the lady come with you. Our knowledge is not superior to anybody else's knowledge. But in politics, as in life, you think things through and you make hard decisions. Apparently, Win is doing the right thing. They're trying to bring the lady fully over to them. I am not sure that my coalition the APNU understand that you got to try and get back your lady. And so you got two levels of struggle. One level is to get back your lady, but in trying to get back your lady, you got to remember that I got the PPP, who is the real enemy. So you're struggling at two levels. Not one. I am not sure that my APNU is doing enough of one. I think we are doing good in trying to hold the PPP. We are doing excellent on that, I would say. A grade. Given the resources, given that we get beat up, I think we are doing what we are not doing well in is at the level of trying to win back, my lady. Trying to convince those who are home, who stay at home, and those who go over to win, to come back home. Come back home, baby. Turn back, yacht man. Turn back. I am not sure. And I'm being frank here. I am not sure we are doing enough on that level. Because it's the old thing that you have to be a national party, and the understanding of national parties that don't look after your base. You can be a national party, of course. PPP is a national party. PNC is a national party. All parties are national parties. All parties trying to get votes nationally. So we are all national parties. But we are national parties with particular bases. Our base happen to be mostly Black people. So you're a national party that appeals mostly to Black people. And the PPP is a national party that appeals mostly to Indians. Appealing to an ethnic group doesn't mean that you're not a national party. And I think some of our comrades are into that thing, that if you say you appeal to one ethnic group, you're not a national party. It's nonsense. National means that you're trying to win votes from all sections. You're a national party versus a regional party. You may say, well, my party is a Linden party. I ain't want no vote. I ain't looking for vote from Georgetown and New Amsterdam. I'm looking for vote from Linden. So we say you're a regional party. You're not a national party. And so therefore, I don't think we have clearly worked out how is it that we're going to win back our support base. It means that we have to change tactics, we have to change strategy. And like I said, tactics and strategy are not discussed on a program like this. But what is clear is that WIN is trying to win more of APNU people or APNU base, traditional base. And APNU ought to be trying to get back all, if not some, of their base. They ought to. I don't know that we are doing that as vigorously as we should. Most people who voted for APNU, they tell me clearly, Dr. Hinds, I want you all go and team up with WIN. If I go and team up with WIN, me done. So, if you're APNU, your first order of business is to defend the 70-something thousand that you get. And if the 70-something thousand tell you they want you going to team up with it, you better listen to them. Because they are likely, they may not go to WIN, they may not go to the PPP, but they're going to stay home like the 70-something thousand that stay home. So this is not an easy thing. A lot of WIN supporters, understandably so, WIN Black people supporters, understandably so, want unity with APNU because they're essentially APNU people. And one thing that APNU Blacks and WIN Blacks are united on, they want PPP. The problem is that want of unity, that yearning for unity between WIN and APNU, although the supporters, especially the WIN supporters, want it. And maybe the Blacks, the APNU supporters who stay home may want it too. The problem is that the logic of what happened at the election doesn't take the political actors there, doesn't take them to unity. As I said, one is trying to win more and one ought to try to get back. And that logic doesn't take you to unity. So the supporters want unity, but the strategists, they want unity, but that is not first preference. That is their first line of action. Mr. Mohammed made it very clear. He fighting APNU. He want the 3 commissioners that he come to go, and he gonna replace them with 3 AE commissioners. He want Carol Joseph to go, he gonna replace her with his scrutineer. He want whoever the APNU get on the local government commission to go, they replace with 2 AE people and 1 man support person. So he's very clear. He wants APNU institutionally out of the way. He's very clear about that. We have to break the politics down. Part of why this is a gift we have here, the social media thing, you know. It gives us this opportunity to break things down in real time. I have a friend who said, well, Dr. Hines, what is the solution to the problem? What is the solution to the problem? And sometimes there is no immediate solution. Sometimes we just have to allow things to play themselves out. You all know that I haven't said anything in the recent slew of people who left the PNC and gone to the PPP and Jack Doe, bringing them out here freebie. I am convinced. Let me make my point clear here. In my study of Caribbean politics and political parties, I cannot find any instance where people at the top or the middle of a party have left as they're doing in the PNC. It has not been replicated any time in our history or anywhere in the Caribbean. People cross. Burnham, they entice Mohammed Qasim and some of the UF people to cross over to the PNC in time for the 68 election. And then he enticed some PPP, Chandy Singh and them to cross over from PPP. He did. But Burnham was interested when Burnham bring across the UF people, he make them minister. When he bring across Chandy Singh and Tika and them, he make them minister. Lal Bahadur Singh, in big position. Ari Lal and whoever else he bring over. The people who are going over to the PPP from the PNC, the PPP not giving them any big position. The PPP is using the crossovers as political spectacle in the age of social media to embarrass the PPP and the PNC, sorry, and to plant in the PNC base that this party is breaking up. Of all of the PNC people who went over, James Bond is the only one who got a seat in Parliament. None of the others get anything substantial. The PPP is smart when it comes to that. They know that these people were in my enemy camp, and the uses for them is to undermine their party, to show their party members on the ground the party breaking up. Look at all your leaders left in. But the PPP will never put power in their hands. No one put power in their hands. You bring cross me enemy and put power in there. Burnham did it. And got away with it. The PPP is not going to do that strategy. The PPP strategy is to get these mid-level PPNC people to go over. And they're choreographing it, every week one, then next week two, and so on. And I was remarking to a friend that thing doesn't have its equal in Caribbean politics. And I am sure that that thing has been planned a long time. I'm wondering if some of these people are really not plans by operators, local and international. Some of these people, as I said, they made it up. Some of them made it to the top leadership of the PNC because they have this slate business. So Norton would bring a brother like Sherwin Older, who would not normally be elected as chair of PNC, but because Norton is popular in the PNC, people vote what they call straight ticket. I vote for the leader and I vote for everybody on the ticket. The opposite of that is split ticket, where some people just vote for the leader, but they won't vote for the rest of the ticket. But at the PNC Congress, they voted straight ticket. So somebody like Brother Sherwin, who would not normally be elected chairman of the party, became chairman of the party. And the chairman of the party is like the deputy leader of the party. Brother Sherwin would not, under normal circumstances, become deputy leader of the party, but he did because of the slate system. And so Brother Norton and the PNC have to figure out whether that strategy works. So the brother goes away. And then Jack Dionne said, they said the deputy leader of the PNC left the PNC. And if you're an ordinary supporter and you hear that, you're going to have enough. Boy, something really wrong with the party. Under normal circumstances, Brother Wayne Mason would leave the PNC and nobody would even know. Wayne left the PNC before, and I think he went to Brother Mark Benshaw's party. Nobody noticed it because that wasn't the age of social media. And Brother Benshaw didn't set out to break up the PNC. So when Wayne and others went to Brother Mark, no big deal. But remember, the objective here is to weaken the PNC in the eyes of its supporters. So Brother Wayne is elevated now to a top PNC leader. So the thing is, a top PNC leader has left the PNC for whatever reason. And if you were the support on the ground and you hear that, oh, shucks, by the party breaking up. That is the PPP's objective. And if you hear me say, brother, these chaps are my brothers. I like Sherwin Older. I had him when he first was running with thing. I had him, and I've not uttered a word of criticism with him going to the PPP. I don't agree with it. I thought he shouldn't, but I have not uttered a word of criticism because, in a sense, I have helped to validate somebody like Sherwin Older. When Mason, I can call him a friend. He's a hard-working brother. He has his quirks. But Wayne is my friend. I like Wayne. He's a, you know? And I don't agree that Wayne, and I think Guy Wayne, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, Wayne going to be right back in the PNC. He's that type of chap. He left the other day. And then I turned up at Congress Place and Wayne said, Doc, I get something for you. And he gave me the invitation to the Desmond Night lecture. I said, when you back in the party? He said, unless the top man show me how the party, I never hold the party. He's a character. And mark my word, Wayne is going to be back in the PNC in 3 months. But what Jack Doe will use somebody like Wayne to do is to say this man left the party. He's a top leader in the party is falling apart. And if you're on the ground and you hear that you are believing this party is falling apart, buy a better go to win, or a better go to PPP, or a better go and sleep. The ultimate objective of a group of people or groups of people, I don't think these groups are in a meeting and they sit down and they say, but I think there are about 3-4 groups of people whose objective, some of them, the objective is to weaken the PNC. Some of them is to get rid of the PNC. Some of them, they just don't like Norton. But when you put all their works together, what you will get is a weakened PNC. The Never Northerners, those who want the PNC to be weakened, those who want the PNC to get off the political map and to be replaced by another party, when you put all of them together, the outcome is a weakened PNC. And that's what we're facing. This social media has changed Guyana politics. We have the argument among political activists whether social media can win an election or lose an election, whether social media may make a big difference in another country but not in Guyana. We have the debate about the effectiveness of social media. So we haven't signed off on social media. But what we all know is that social media does make a difference. And when people are getting their information from the bench shops and the... Good evening, Brother Mark and Sherrod. Good evening, Brother Sherrod and David Hines and Kadaki. But they're competing sources of information they get from Melly Mel. And Melly Mel get more of them to listen to her than us. And Melly Mel ain't got no time with political history. Melly Mel ain't got no time with political analysis. Melly Mel and people like Melly Mel, they have tapped in to something in Guyanese and Caribbean culture. And that is an air for Trinidadians and the Islanders call it Moveland or Commerce. We in Guyana talk, there's an air for a certain kind of gossip. It's part of our culture. And what those people have done is that they've merged gossip with politics. You buy you an air, girl you an air, so. Girl you an air, Jack Dion, this so. Girl you an air, so body. They have a relationship with so body. And what they've done is that they've now merged that with politics. So something like the farm, which is really a serious matter, Jack, orphan farm of the state. I know people, somebody like Sister Melly Mel ain't got time with no state or nothing. She presents it as gossip, although she doesn't mean to say it's gossip. But, oh God, you get 200 hog, you get 300 black belly sheep. And people are not thinking about what that says about the nature of the state and the criminalization of the state. You go get up on David Hines. What they're concerned and what draws them to our Sister Melly Mel and others is the gossip. And Mohammed falls somewhere in between the gossip. I'm not saying he's gossiping. I tuning into her, Mohammed saying, because you know the story good. So Mohammed is exposing, but people are consuming it as the inside story, the inside gossip. So Brother Mohammed gets traction because of that. Our politics have been transformed, and I think those of us who are political people, we have been a little slow in understanding how our people consume information. All I can do at this level is to keep educated. Excuse me. Is to keep educating our people. And I don't mean educate as in school education, but in what I call popular education. Because it's going to become useful. You see the gossip. Oh my goodness. Oh God, who talking my name? Mark, I hope you aren't talking my name tonight. my brother Mark. Mark earned the right to criticize me. He's a fellow fighter, and any fighter has the right to criticize me. I'm not beyond criticism. And I might turn up my nose at some people criticizing me. But not Mark Benchop. Mark Benchop earned the right to be critical of me. I may not agree with him, but he earned the right to criticize me. Good evening, Brother Mark. We continue to do the popular education. We continue to do the popular education. There'll be no forklifting of vendors in Buxton. I think everybody, all the vendors are situated, and so there'll be no forklifting of vendors tomorrow in Buxton. We're very glad to have played a role, some small role in that outcome. We're very glad to have played some small role in protecting our people and to make sure that they can continue to earn a livelihood without the trauma of seeing the bulldozers of the state coming to bulldoze their little stands. I am glad and any PPP minister who's willing to work with me to solve problems in our communities rather than bullying our communities. If you bully our communities, are in your face. In your face. If you're willing to work to accommodate our people and to solve problems to the benefit of all, please come. Please call me. And when you finish ensuring that my people are not bullied, and the next hour you go and bully somebody, I'm going to be in your face. That's politics. I've been 50 years in politics, and I learned that I get 50 ways to skin a cat. I'm not beyond criticism. If some people feel that's not the way to solve problems, I hear them. I hear them. But you have three roles as a parliamentarian. Lawmaking, you make laws. I have very little influence on that because the PPP got a majority and they can make any law which requires a majority and go along with the business. The session function of Parliament is oversight. When you're doing wrong, I use my bully pulpit to tell the world you're doing wrong and to tell you you're doing wrong. So I bring the Parliament to Politics 101 to do that. And the third role of the parliamentarian is to represent your people. If any minister come in Buxton, I in out there to hear what you're doing in the village, where you come for do. You're locking up in no house because if I go out, you might shake me hand. You shake me hand, that is not my problem. If you come here and I'm here, I want where you come here for. And you and me go work if you so desire to make right. And when you done dealing with me and me people are right, and by the time you meet Church of God Road, you do something wrong, and in your face, fighting you and butting you. At that time, I ain't shaking you on. but I'm not above criticism. The sight of government always bulldozing black people thing, it's not a good sight to advertise to our people. If we can avoid it, avoid it. It's not a good sight because it's showing that we're weak. People come in, they bulldoze this way, they bulldoze Moko, they bulldoze Amelia Ward, and there's nothing we can do about it. If I can stop you from bulldozing, you want to shake me on, you shake me on. But you aren't bulldozing nobody. And I said Mr. Agil was very respectful. When the matter first broke, I called him, he answered me. He wasn't too nice, but I didn't mind. So this is an old matter. I can report tonight. Our people are out of the way, and they're in places where they can continue to make at least 3/4 of the living. I opened my yard, my personal yard, to those who can't find places. Come and put your stand in my yard. I think 1 or 2 of them may have taken up the offer. If you ask me to write a primer on political activism, that's what you do. I love Mark. And like I said, Mark has a right to criticize me. I'm vexed with him. He sees it another way, that I should not be out there and I shouldn't shake Edgeland and so on and so forth. And that thing. But I can report tonight that no Farcliffe and coming into Farcliffe, me, little sisters there stand. In the name of the Father, Mr. Churchman, you know the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Politics is not plaything. There are a couple of people, I think, Mr. Fraser, send me a little raise. Man, I get bad way. When people give you a little raise, I just forget to thank people. Let me see here. 3 people send me a raise. Mountain coming, I got pay and so on. Let me see here. Let me see here. You don't go. Do not go. God, how can I spam thing? They need. This a Monday. Tuesday. I can't find this. Every day. It is here. Brother Ronald, thank you for your contribution. Sister Lynette, thank you for your contribution. Sister Dion, they got some names that could be male and female, but Dion, D-I-O-N. I don't know if it's a female Dion or male Dion, but Dion A, thank you very much for your contribution. And Dion, you every month, you're sending your thing every month. Yes, you're sending your thing every month. Thank you very much, Dion. You all please contribute, you know. As I said, this is our trending headline. It's really galloping, and thanks to my assistant, because when we finish here, the assistant goes to work and extracts she writes news stories out of what we say here tonight. Somebody who may have not seen the program, And this headline, Opposition Unity Not on the Cards, it's trending all day today on the page. So please go on the page and read the story. And please, if you can spare the little freck, it helps us because we have to pay staff. my helpers don't like to me to call them helpers or volunteers. They said they are staff. So we got to pay the staff. Help you out with the little freck to pay the staff. Thank you all very much. It's so wonderful to have a captive audience who doesn't move until the program is over.